Hello everyone, this is Zooc and today I'm bringing you a new logo design video. Haha, finally. I haven't made one of these in a long time, but I have been working on projects on the side. Some have just not been very interesting and some were just not fit for recording. I suppose they just wouldn't make like great videos. But this one I think is pretty damn good. I started off with the plan of making a video out of it because I knew I sort of had a pretty good vision of what it was supposed to end up like. So anyway, this logo is for Towellee's HD Gaming. Towelliee is a video game streamer. He seems to be rather popular. I'm not sure because I don't watch any of them except StarCraft once in a while, which doesn't really qualify as the same thing. But yeah, he streams a bunch of games, WoW, some other stuff. I do remember a Towelliee from the time I was playing World of Warcraft. I don't know if it's the same guy, but he was known back then, which is years ago. He was a warrior, I believe. And he had his own website and stuff. I think it was like a strategy sort of walkthrough kind of a thing. Regardless, let's talk about the project. So basically, this guy already had a logo, but it was kind of shitty looking. It was basically kind of the same thing that I'm making now. It was a hand holding a hammer, but it was just a one color thing in a circle with no real detail at all. And he just wanted a revamp, you know. And seeing as we're about to enter 2014, he wanted to start off with a fresh image. So I was recommended by a bunch of other streamers that I did work for. So he came to me, and here we are. So basically I started with a lot of sketches of a hand. As per usual, a hand is kind of a pain in the ass to draw. But I had a few good ideas. I had like 4 or 5 pages in total of sketches. I didn't record most of them because I was just doing them whenever I felt like it as time went by. So I didn't have a camera set up for that. You know, I was just sketching hands. And eventually I decided on one sketch, but it wasn't final. Like I knew I couldn't follow it to the end. So basically what I'm doing is I said, screw the sketches, let's just make the thing. Because sketching that much ends up being a waste of time. I'd rather just work on it in Illustrator. So that's what I did. You know, I'm basically building this hand with no real reference except my own hand. And it's not as muscular, granted. And it won't be towards the end. I kind of changed the hand up a little bit. But yeah, I was just looking at my own fist. Like, how does the skin fold over that finger? How do these creases, where do they point? You know, it's I didn't have a lot of reference, but I had a little bit. So the idea with the hammer and the hand, it's kind of a motto that they have within the community, his personal community. It's something like raise your or no, it's hammers up, I guess. And he showed me a picture of, you know, a real life meeting where he actually had these inflatable hammers that people carried around, and it's their thing, I suppose. It's what they have as a motto, kind of. I didn't really ask that many questions because it seemed pretty straightforward to me, at least. So I just went for it. So I am going through my graphic design resources that I have. Actually, this is tied to what happened to me in the previous days. I got a new laptop and I plugged in my hard drive, which had all of my work for the past decade. Every single project, every single piece of music that I have, all my books, all my video tutorials, all my graphic design resources, all the templates, everything. And some error happened, which basically blocked my access to the hard drive. So everything was converted to RAW format, and I paid like, I don't know how many dollars for this piece of software that was supposed to recover the data. And I waited for 2 days because it takes a long ass time to scan through 2 terabytes almost of data. And eventually ended up losing everything. So now I'm working on rebuilding my graphic design library and finding those resources that are not as easy to find anymore because I downloaded those years ago when they were uploaded to certain file hosting websites and which don't exist anymore. So yeah, it was pretty unpleasant. But I do have the most important bits like my fonts and a lot of the vector stuff already re-downloaded, so that's good. But yeah, I've learned my lesson. I'm not gonna go around and with only one hard drive with no backed up data or anything. So I bought 100 gigs of SkyDrive and I'm just slowly uploading all of my important stuff up on there, so should be fine. Anyway, back to the project. I had a vision in my mind. I was going for something in a circle, and it ended up not being as great as I was imagining it. right now I'm just working on adding a little bit of flair to it, I suppose. And when I thought I was done, I basically said, fuck it, I'm gonna make something completely different. You know, I looked through a website that had a lot of logo projects and mock-ups and stuff, and decided that mine couldn't belong there. It wouldn't belong there. It just wasn't cool enough. So I thought I would go for a different shape, something like reminiscent of a shield, I suppose, since we're talking about, you know, a rallying cry, I guess, raise your hammers or hammers up or whatever. So I went for this sort of shape, reminiscing of a shield. This logo, in my mind, had to be self-sufficient. Like, it didn't need any other text, any other stuff hanging about. It's a logo that you're supposed to be able to place on your stream, and it has all the important information about who you are and what your identity is. So I didn't want to fuck around with texts and text styles and whatnot. So I wanted one object that incorporated basically everything. And this sort of stuff is very popular nowadays. People are making shield type logos for a bunch of different companies. It's a trend, granted. I won't say that it's right or wrong. It's just a trend, but it works. I mean, I guess it makes it right in that case. But things are bound to change. But most of the graphic design resource websites now and inspiration galleries have a lot of these. And I'm personally not ashamed of following a specific trend. I mean, that's why it is a trend. You know, some things work for certain identities, other things don't. But I think for this particular situation, it worked rather well because it has a central element like the hand there. I wanted the hand to be not too thick on the outlines because I like a bit of realism regardless of what I'm doing, but too much realism and it ends up looking a bit too clumped together, I guess, too crowded. So there's a minimal amount of detail on the hand, something that would definitely make the reader or the watcher, I guess, realize that it is a realistic looking hand. So now I'm just creating my own textiles because I'm working in Illustrator, not in Photoshop. I wanted to make this integrally a vector logo and not mess around with text effects or anything like that. Because it's easy to just pop something in Photoshop and apply a few layer styles or pre-made styles to it, and that's it, bam. But then it looks bad if you try to enhance it, like you can't place it on a t-shirt. And the idea with this logo is that it's going to be placed on a lot of things. Like this guy has a whole package of cups, mugs, hats, business cards, whatnot, t-shirts. So it has to be multi-purpose for absolutely everything out there. So yeah, that's what I came up with. The guy loved it. The second part of my project is putting this on thumbnails that I have to make a Twitch and a YouTube layout and overlays for the cameras. So it's basically an all-encompassing commission, not just the logo, but everything that a streamer needs in his arsenal. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. I had a lot of fun making this project. It was time consuming. It took about 5 hours to make everything you saw in this video. Probably about 6 with the extra sketching. But in the end, it was worth it. I think I came to I really like it. He really liked it. All the people I've showed it to really like it. So I guess that's what really matters in the end. But yeah, please rate that shit if you enjoyed it. I wish you guys a happy new year. It's the 30th today, but I'm probably not going to make a video tomorrow because why the fuck would I? Let's just wait until 2014. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again. Bye-bye.